Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tony Talks, where I have conversations with inspirational leaders, influencers, and change makers, people that aren't just doing well in life, but that are doing good in the world. And this is a conversation not just with me and my guests, but also with you. So I would invite you to ask questions and make comments and interact. And do share this video. We're streaming live on YouTube as well as Facebook. And I'm excited to bring to you a dear friend of mine that I've known for, I don't even know, 6 or 8 years at this point, probably a little longer than that, actually, now that I'm looking at some dates that I've jotted down here. He is truly one of the most amazing human beings that I know, and one of the most inspirational to me, of course, which is one of the reasons why I'm bringing him on here. So today's guest, I will start off by saying, he is a 3-time Olympian. He is an author. He's a speaker. He's an athlete and corporate trainer. He's also about to become a psychologist as he's graduating, took another degree. And the reason that he is one of these most inspirational people to me, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about him before I even bring him on camera. He's already in the waiting room, so I'm going to just sing his praises without him being here. He'll hear it. He's inspirational because he's done so many things that so many people just dream about. So I'll say this. I'll start with saying that he swam across the Straits of the Gibraltar, so the space between Spain, Gibraltar, Spain, and Africa, and to Morocco. There's the Gibraltar Strait, which is somewhere along the lines of 12 miles or 13 miles. He swam that in 2017. In 2016, he ran a Spartan race, which is amazing, right? I have not run a Spartan race yet. In 2015, he ran the New York City Marathon. Again, there are people that have done that, but he did it in 2015. In 2014, he also did an Ironman. And in the same year, he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. Now, the thing that's even more impressive that many haven't done is that he went to the Olympics not once, not twice, but 3 times. He went to the Olympics in 2004, 2008, and 2012. And he was actually slated to be going to the Olympics again this year in Tokyo in 2020. So that's impressive. And he did that. Obviously, he was still a teenager when he did it in 2004. But the thing that impresses me most and what makes Enhamed so special and so inspirational is at the age of 8 years old, he went completely blind. So he's been able to accomplish all of these things, and he's blind. So many times I ask myself, well, why the hell can't I do what it is that I want to do? So with that said, I can't help hold him back any longer. He's clawing at the screen. He's tearing the green room apart. Let me bring him on. It's my good buddy, Enhamed. Enhamed. Name's so nice, I guess you got to say it twice. And there's a story behind the name Enhamed too. So I'm looking to have you share that. Enhamed, my brother, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to hear your presentation. They're always amazing.
Well, listen, you're an amazing guy. So how else am I going to introduce you? So,
well, it's great to be here because I think this episode is actually a good number. It's 101, right?
101 indeed. I had the 100th episode.
Oh man, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, no, the pleasure is all mine. So this is the second coming of Enhamed, right? Again, it's Enhamed. First we had Enhamed, now we have Enhamed. The last time we did it, you were in Spain. I was in Los Angeles somewhere in the convention center, and we had more technical difficulties than I could ever imagine, even though we did 3 segments on the same day. But hopefully today we don't expect the same thing, even though a little inclement weather where I am, but hopefully that is not going to stop us. So brother, tell me what you've been up to. Tell me what life has been like for you for the last couple of years, or for the last year. I know you're training for the Olympics, but actually rather before that, what I'd love for you to do is just tell us a little bit more about you, about your story, about your journey, and where it all started. You know, give people a glimpse of who you are, if you will.
Well, it's I think when I heard people speaking about how our life can change in a second, it's very funny because in my case that was true. Because I had this disease, and the doctors told to my parents, "Hey, listen, you have to be very careful with your child because if he do any quick movement with his head, he can detach his retina, which is that small thing. It connects our eye with our brain. So I supposed to be very quiet kid and just sitting around and that, doing nothing. But I was crazy. I was jumping around and running and doing all kind of stuff. So one day my mom, she said the usual, be quiet because you know what can happen to you. And as usual, I listened to her and I lay down. And when I opened my eyes after 5 seconds, I was completely blind. So I used to say I became blind or I lost my sight when I was 8, but through different experience of my life, like start swimming when I was 9, when I was afraid of the water before. I started learning how to swim when I was 9, and when I was 13, I started doing my long workouts. We start with 2 hours, and a few months later, 4 hours, and when I qualified for my first international championship, and when I was 14, my coach he decided we have to work even harder. So we start training 7 hours every day from Monday to Saturday. And so I had to wake up at 5 a.m. basically. So long story short, I went to Athens 2004. I won 2 bronze medals. But in 2006, 2007, when I was 19, I was in very dark place. I hated my life. I want to give up, and I hated the fact that I'm blind. I couldn't understand that because for me it was injustice. I mean, why people can see and I can't? And in those moments, I couldn't find any answer, to be honest. And after a few experiences, few movies and few books and some different references I was getting around. I don't know. It's something just pop up on my head, and in that moment, I decided I need a change. I need to do something different because obviously, the definition of madness is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And in that moment is when I start training my mind, trying to find a better mindset and change my mindset. So that took me to won 4 gold medals in Beijing 2008, a year and a half later. And actually, the tipping point of my life was when sorry, my English is very broken, but ah, it's 12 a.m. here. So after Beijing 2008, this child, he was 9 years old. He asked me if I would you give up your medals to see again? And that's a tough question. And what I was amazed by my answer because in that moment I told him no, I wouldn't change this life because yes, I did all this hard work just to get these medals, but if I could see, I wouldn't be able to be here. I wouldn't be able to learn all the things I've learned. I wouldn't be able to walk this path. So I wouldn't change this to see again. And it's not about the medals. It's about what I learned. I learned to be more grateful. I learned to be stronger. I learned to have a different mindset. And that in that moment is when I start saying, no, I didn't lost my sight when I was 8. I won my blindness because it's something I have to win every day. It's just my life, the obstacles, my mindset, and all those things together. I have to fight every day to win my blindness. That's it. Long story short.
That's amazing, brother. Listen, like I said, you've been able to accomplish more since you've been blind from going to you didn't go to the Olympics once. You went to the Olympics 3 times, and you were supposed to be swimming in the Olympics again in Tokyo this summer.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I qualified 1 week before we started quarantine here in Spain. Uh, in yeah, the beginning of March, and yeah, it's supposed to be this summer, but at this moment, Tokyo it's not Tokyo 2020 anymore. It's gonna be Tokyo 28 because we don't know if it's gonna be next year or the other one. But yeah, after 8 years later, after I retired from the swimming, I'm back.
Yeah. Listen, to come back and to be that you're competing and still qualify, brother, I am beyond in awe of you. Not to mention the last time I laid eyes on you, albeit it's been a while since you've come to visit. The last time I laid eyes on you on camera, you probably had another 25 pounds on you. So you have leaned up like nobody's business. So listen, your commitment, your discipline, your dedication to your craft is nothing short of astounding, brother. And I say all the time that you were one of the most inspirational humans I know, because to be able to look at what you've gone through and what you've had to endure, because it's easy to say, oh yeah, well listen, he made it to the Olympics. He's just lucky. He must have had all this support. He must have been born with so much opportunity and everything else. And I know different. So to know the journey that you've had and that you continue to have, and I've been blessed to know you so many years. You're on your third guide dog, which the other two are still around, which is a great thing. And we've had the opportunity to have you stay over at our home on multiple occasions, and I've got pictures of the kids all excited, holding your gold medals and everything. And I can't thank you enough for that. It's been such an amazing experience, just being able to know you and to be able to get to know you and call you a friend. So I am beyond impressed by you, and I know that you inspire so many. And I have another friend of mine that's on here, Dana. She just said, hold on. I attest to that. He says it all the time, rock star. Exactly what I just said that you're commenting on, but thank you. So Dana is another amazing individual. She's also an athlete in her own right, and she is somebody else that impresses me beyond measure, because she's been fighting to get herself out of a chair and being a quadriplegic for the last 29 years, and she's still making strides to come out of it. And again, just another super inspirational stuff to people that I'm blessed to have attracted into my life and to have in my life. So yeah, to be able to overcome is such a great thing, and it's inspiring. And I know that Dana says this. She says, well, I'm just living my life. I'm just living being me. I'm not.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because most of the time we face our adversity like it's the end of the world. But to be honest, when adversity, it comes something very usual. You have two choices. One, you lay down and wait for someone to come and help you and give you a hand and whatever. And the other choice is just to get up and step up and say, you know what? I want to live the same life as other people, so I will try to do the same things. And that's actually my thought. I mean, anytime I try something new, the only reason is just why not? I want to experience that, and so I will try.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And with that, we're going to get into some fun stories of some of our experiences together. The other thing that you don't know about this guy is when he stays over he stays over my house, he'll come down and my wife will say hello, and he turns to her and says, wow, you look beautiful today. And I freaking love that. And it still gets her. Every time you say that, but still probably one of my favorite things is, so let me now say I had met Enhamed, and you'll know because your memory is so good. What year did we meet at Date with Destiny at Tony Robbins?
December 2012.
Okay,
2012. Yeah,
8 years. So I've known Enhamed for 8 years. At the
8 years.
time, I was a senior leader with the organization, and I spoke Spanish. Well, at least I thought I did. Enhamed reminded me so much. My Spanish has improved, I will tell you that. And so I was translating Tony Robbins, which that's the challenge. I didn't know how to speak Spanish, but speaking the language of personal development and try to keep up with Tony Robbins is amazingly challenging. So that's how we first met. And so when he had to go to the restroom or something, I'd get up and I'd walk with him, and he'd bump into somebody, says, "Oh, excuse me, I didn't see you," and they would like snap back and look at him, and the look of surprise and amazement and shock was just impressive. But
I love those moments. I love them. Because all the time we are trying to be too polite, and I think there are situations when it's great to be polite and it's necessary. But in other situations, it just put the other person in some weird place. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's better to be
in a weird place, all right.
Yeah.
I said, you put him in a weird place, all right.
I love it. I love it. It's uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, people they like it and they prefer that. So for them, if they make any mistake, like, "Hey, have you watched that movie? Oh, sorry," and it's like, "No, no worries. I mean, yeah, actually, I watched it the other day. I didn't like it, or I love it, or whatever." But people they feel free to express themselves.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, man. And again, I just love the way that you handle yourself, how you use humor. So at not that event, but another event, I was sitting with, during a break or after the event was over, we're sitting there and having a glass of wine. And I get up to do something. I leave my phone on the table. I come back, I grab my phone. I'm like, God damn it. I don't understand. What's wrong with this phone? These iPhones suck. I just plugged this thing in like an hour ago. It said I had 50% battery, and look at it, the thing's already dead. And I'm like going, and Enhamed starts laughing. Aesthetically, I'm like, the hell is he laughing at? Did somebody just tell him a joke? Well, what's going on? And he's laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? He says, he had put my phone on blind mode because he operates his phone because on with the black screen. So we had a good laugh at my expense, but it was funny. And then I got to learn that there's a blind mode on the phone. So yeah, thank you for unlocking it, by the way, because I'd still be working on it today.
Yeah, we have a really good times, and I think one of my favorites. It was a few years later when I visit. I think the last time I visited your home, and you remember when we were driving.
I do. So Enhamed's a really adventurous guy, right? So whenever he comes over, he's visited my home a few times and stayed with us for a week or a few days or what have you. And whenever he comes, I want to give him an experience, right? Because I'm an experienced guy. I like to have experiences. It's not just about accumulating things. It's not about one thing or another. It's about experiences. So because I'm an experienced guy, I like to ask people, what kind of experience do you want to have? So I asked him if he ever rode a quad. And he said, well, what? So I asked him if he ever rode a quad. He's like, no. I said, do you want to? He's like, yes. So guess what we did? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to make you guess what we did because I've got a short video. There we go. Let's see if I think I've got this queued up. Hold on a second here. Wait, is that? No, hold on a second. Oh, that's not it. I thought that was easier. So, well, listen, why don't you, I'll tell you what, Enhamed, while I look for this and try to make this happen, why don't you tell them, actually, I've got to kind of share this story and then I'll look for the video. So Enhamed didn't speak English when I met him. Very few words, and probably the words that you'd guess, thank you, and some other words that rhyme with that, and just a handful of words. He didn't speak very much English. And when we left that December of 2012, he says, Tony, tells me in Spanish, Tony, I'm going to learn how to speak English, and when next time you speak to me, it's going to be in English. So I get a call from him in March, and he's like, "Hello." I hear, "Hello, Tony." I'm like, he's like, "Tony." I'm like, "Enhamed?" And he said, "Yes, it's me." He learned how to speak English in 3 months, conversational English in 3 months. One of the most impressive things that I could, again, you do so many things that impress me. So while I look for this video and I have the video, but while I try to figure out how I can play this, I want you to tell people how it is that you did that. And again, the power of overcoming and what you do and how you look at things and break them down. So while I look for this, why don't
Sure.
that with them?
So, actually, I applied what I used to do, the same methodology I used for when I changed that mindset in order to to achieve those medals in the Olympics. It was basically planning. So I after that event, I came back to I went back. See, yes, I came back to Spain, and I got a visa to move to the US for a few months, and I went to Boston, and the first time I arrived there, I couldn't understand a word. So my plan was I have to learn at least one sentence every day, and if I can say it perfect, that would be better. And so what I did, I did like a goal for this week, a goal for this month, and etc. And basically, it was all about immersion, which is I didn't speak any word in Spanish. I didn't listen to any word in Spanish. So I told to my family, if you want to speak with me, just text me something in English, translated or whatever. But I can only read and speak in English. And it was one of the most frustrating things of my life. It was really, really tough. I mean, the Ironman or climbing the Kilimanjaro or swimming those 12 miles from Spain to Africa, it was much easier than learning language without any supports. What I mean by that is if I go to, I don't know, to coffee shop or any restaurants and I want to eat something, what you used to do when you can see, you just point to something and say, hey, I want this or I want that. But when you can't see, you have no idea. Maybe you are pointing to, I don't know, to the lamp or to the door. You have no idea. So after a lot of hard moments, tough moments, I could came up with some words, and what I used to do is use the same words in different ways. And when people respond to me, I just change my answer and trying to understand and trying to come up with new words or new ways to say whatever I want to say. To be honest, after all that work, today I feel a little bit bad because the last year or so I haven't spoke so much in English, and I felt like I lost a lot. But I was very proud of that because few months later, I called you in March, but a few months later I gave my first speech in English, 45 minutes, and I was tired after that. So yeah, basically just have a good plan and work so hard and have very specific goals. I mean, it's nothing new.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. So, if you will tell us, I want you to share the story I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to share this video. I want you to share the story of when you were over my house and I made you some eggs, and then you went to have them, and the eggs were like on fire. And I'm like, dude, they're hot, they're hot. And what did you tell me? So I want people to get an understanding of who you are, where you came from. So for the people that think, oh, well, he must have just been handling everything.
I don't remember that story.
Oh, then I'm going to have to jump in and say it. Okay, so I make him, egg, make him breakfast, and the eggs are like just came out of the, and he just, he gets right into it. I'm like, whoa, they're really hot. They're really hot. It's like, Tony, I grew up, was it 6 or 7 brothers and sisters? How many was it?
Yeah. 6 siblings. Yeah. We're
Six. 6 siblings, right? So 7 altogether or 6 altogether?
6 altogether. If you don't eat fast, you can't eat.
You fast, you can't eat. So he just kind of went at it. And I think it's such a great story because of again, Enhamed didn't come from, he was living in a small island off the coast of Spain. It wasn't a family that had a lot of resources, but he managed to find a way and to overcome, and just through the pure grit of not only, what you have to adapt to live a life, a normal life, which you live a relatively normal life. The extra, what you have to do extra, so much more than the rest, than sighted people, right? Certainly in practicing and training for the Olympics, and in being able to
but
determine a straight line I can see. So all that's impressive to me.
yeah, but that, I think that started even before the Olympics, because when I became blind, and when I won my blindness, um, my mother used to say something to me, and what is the secret weapon of moms, right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. So she used to say all the time, you gotta be independent, you gotta be self-sufficient, because I wouldn't be able to help you during your entire life. I won't be here. So she was telling me that all the time. And when I was walking around at home and I bumped in some, I don't know, some wall or something, and she was seeing me, but she didn't do anything. And so she let me bump in some things, because what she used to say, well, if you bump in something here and you hurt a lot, I can help you. But you have to learn how you manage yourself, how you handle your life in a daily basis, because when you are on the street, you're going to be by yourself. So if you need my help, I'm here, but I want you to try. And my dad, he used to tell me all the time, you have to work twice as than any other person, because you can't see, obviously. So you need to put more effort in everything you are trying. So I think with those 2 learnings, that guided me the rest of my life. And I didn't know. I actually forgot it, because for the next 10 years, until I was 19, I was just listening to the story I was hearing from the society, which is, if you are blind, you have a big disadvantage. If you are blind, you can't, I don't know, you can't go to a club, and you can't have fun with your friends, and you can't get a job, you can't swim faster, whatever, right? But I think in the deepest parts of my soul, or my mind, those teachings, they were there, and but they couldn't go out, they couldn't show up, just because I heard that story from the society, and I believe that story.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing, our beliefs. Because in the moment I change those beliefs, the moment I clear up from that story, it's when I start listening to my own stories, and to my parents' teaching, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to try to do. I think I've got this. So I'm going to try to go ahead and play this video. So let's see if it works. Wait, hold on a second here. Wait, no, wait, where did it go? Hold on a second here. I believe, let's see. Okay, so let's see if this actually plays. Can you guys, let's see. I don't know. I don't know that people are seeing that. Did anybody see that? Yeah, I don't know that I'm having a challenge. This did not work as well as I thought it was going to. All right. Well, so I'm just going to tell the story. A little disappointing. I'm using my phone to stream this on Instagram. So for those people that were on Instagram, what they saw, so I put Enhamed on the quad, and I certainly couldn't just put him on the quad and let him run off with the quad. So I got on the quad behind him, and we planned, okay, and we went on for a while. I said, okay, look, I'm going to sit on the quad behind you, and I'm going to be holding onto your arms. And when I push on your left arm, you got to go, or on your right arm, you've got to go left. Turn it like a bicycle. When I push on your left arm, you got to turn right. So I was literally steering him as we're going 20 miles an hour up and down the street, across my front yard. And when he stopped, he was like exhilarated. Tell me about how you felt with that experience.
Wow, I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I love everything can go fast enough. So I love that. I love it.
Was it scary for you?
No.
What? It was scary as hell for me.
Yeah, you told me that later. But I think you were ready for the challenge, and yeah, that's it. So, and you have blind faith on me.
I have blind that you want. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's what I called the video when I posted it on Facebook. I said it's blind faith because literally having faith that we're not going to run into a tree. But I will tell you, this man takes instruction like nobody's business. Because I'm going to share another story with you guys. And again, I would share the video, but you know what? How could I share this video? I might be able to share. You know what? Hold on a second. I might be able to share this video after all. So I'm actually going to go backwards, and I'm going to hold my screen up so you guys will be able to see it on my screen. I'm going to show you guys the video. I'm going to show you guys that video here. That's how I'm going to do it. I'll just, I'll jerry rig it so that we can make it work. So here we go. So this is a really short video here. This is a really short video. So this is the video. And for those of you on Instagram, sorry, I'm about to block the screen. So this is the video. Let's see, play button. And there we go. So not only did I have to have blind faith, but that poor dog that was chasing us, he had blind faith too, except he didn't know it. So that was us on the quad. There is another video that, I got the other video up as well. So,
oh gosh, are you gonna share that one?
I think I'm going to share that one as well. So the year prior, 2 years prior, when he was here to visit, I asked him again, or that was probably actually, I don't know which one came first, the chicken or the egg, but it doesn't matter. I said, hey, listen, what do you want to do that you've never done? He says, I don't know. I said, well, I know you don't know, but if you did, what would it be? He's like, I don't know. I said, did you ever shoot a gun? And he says, no. I said, do you want to? He says, yes. I said, well, do you want me to take you to the gun range? He's like, yes, of course. I said, okay, well, let's go. So we decided to go to the gun range. I go with a friend of mine. We go into the gun range, and we're going in, and I give my buddy a pair of clear lenses. I have to take a pair of clear lenses, and I give him a dark lenses because that's all I had. And the range master said, I'm sorry, sir, you need clear lenses. You can't shoot with dark lenses. And I turned to him and says, it doesn't matter. He's blind. It doesn't matter anyway because he's blind. So the range master stayed behind us all the time. But here's what I'll say. I'll say that for someone who is unsighted, you have the most amazing way of taking instruction. So what we did is we went and I would put him on target, and he would shoot. And then eventually, like anyone else, his hands would sink down a little bit and it'd go lower, and he'd start shooting off. And I would just put him up, lift his hands up, and put him back on target. He'd go. He'd drop again. I said, you got to go up and to the right. He'd go up and to the right without my touching him, and he was hitting the target right on point. So it was amazing. You shot better than half the people that I've ever taken shooting. So, and I've taken quite a few people shooting. So the fact that you were on target was amazing. So tell us about that experience. What did you think about that experience, and what did you
First thing, I really good in getting instructions, because that was the part of my training as a swimmer, because I can't see how other swimmers do, right? So my coach, he's giving me instructions all the time. But you are great. I mean, a lot of people, they try to give me instructions, and man, I can't understand. I can't get what they want. And you are very, very clear, very specific. But that experience, it was one of the most scary things of my life. I don't know, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half.
Yeah.
Man, in some point, I was, I don't know, thinking all kind of stuff. And I used to be very respectful about guns, and a lot of respect about that. And but after that moment, it's even more, because it surprised me how easy it is. It's very, very easy to pull the trigger, and you have to have great control. But saying that, man, I love that experience. I loved it.
So you know what? I have a little video of that. I was looking for the
No, but you can't show that on Instagram.
I'm so going to show that video. Yeah, I won't if you don't want me to.
No, I don't think we can do it on Instagram.
Well, so Instagram, I'm sorry, but either way, I'd have to hold my computer up. I'd have to hold my computer up to the screen, so you're only going to be seeing the back of my laptop. So for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, hopefully this video doesn't get banned because of it, but we're just at the range. I've seen people doing this at the range as well. So I'm going to cue this up. This is I've got the weapon that he's got. It's an M4, but it's irrelevant. But what it is, and I'm just going to set this up for you. It has two different types of rounds. One that's powerful and one that's super powerful. And you're going to see his reaction. And I think this reaction is classic for just his reaction and how he responds to it. So check this out. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Wait, hold on. See how I can do this here. Wait, there we go. So that's other people shooting. He hasn't shot yet. Oh, wait. No. Wait, that can't be it. Oh, no, that was him shooting. So anyway, listen. What I could say is, okay, all right, okay, enough with that. There we go. So it actually was, I thought it was a different video that was a little bit longer. But listen, life is about gathering experiences. And, but anyway, the moral of that story is how impressed I was that he was able to stay on target, because you can't get people on target. So it's impressive how he was able to get on target, stay on target. And Dana says he killed it, I bet. And, Dana actually asked a good question before. She said, this is a fun question. This is kind of a fun question. Would you rather be blind or paralyzed?
Well, I don't know. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I had a dream. I was paralyzed. It was different. I mean, I have a lot of friends on wheelchair, from the Paralympic team, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't answer that, to be honest, because
well,
blindness for me, it's easy. It's easy because I've been blind for more than 20 years. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of she said it was a fun. Well, she said that she'd rather be paralyzed because she'd rather be able to see. But again, this is her life and what she's experienced, and you've got your experience. So
Yeah.
so respectful of both of you guys. Olga says, Enhamed, I saw your conversation in Aprendemos Juntos. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. So
Thank you. Thank you.
There's a couple of comments on Instagram. Hello from Vancouver. Let's see. What an inspiration for all of us. Thanks, Tony. He is amazing. I saw him in Los Angeles. People just saying hello. Yeah, so that's what's up. And Joseph says thank you as well for your story. So moving on from that, now that we've had a bunch of fun, by the way, I can't wait for you to come by because I did promise that I'm going to teach him how to drive a car when he comes back. But not to worry, I'll take him to a dead end street or a vacant parking lot. But I'm gonna teach you how to drive when you come. Damn sure, I can assure you that. So I'm looking forward to having you come again, my friend. So looking forward to that. So with that said, and my having said so 4 times in a row, we tell us what you're doing now. Aside from you're obviously
well, it's
great with your psychology degree, but what else are you doing? Tell us what other adventure you're on because you're always up to something. I mean, obviously the Olympics is a huge adventure. Tell us what else you're on. What else you're doing?
Well, with this whole thing about coronavirus, things change a lot. Change a lot in Spain. I mean, we're gonna experience the most horrible economic crisis, I think, in the last 100 years, almost here in Spain at least. So basically, my job used to be, just giving different keynote presentations and being a speaker, and that changed a lot because all that corporate training we can't do it anymore in live, so we have to do it all online, and people they are not getting used to it. So right now I'm just changing everything. In the last 2 months, I was trying to come up with new products and new ways to work. And basically, next week I'm gonna start to write the next book. It's gonna be my second book, and hopefully I can finish it on September or beginning of October. That's my plan. Says that. We'll see because in any plan you need some flexibility because things can change a lot. But yeah, for the next 4 months, I will write in this new book, just doing my workouts on the pool and working a lot. We are in different projects, helping some organizations to work with some children. They are in very disadvantaged situations, and basically that's it. Right now, it's life. Apparently, life is moving very slow, but actually everything is moving very, very, very fast. So I can't wait to find a new way to face this adversity because people they ask me the last years they did in different presentations they ask me all the time, well, how do you do it? And now I can say this situation is basically it's very similar as people with disability we had faced in our life, because basically we are facing adversity and we have to come up with a plan and we have to come up with new behaviors and new ways to deal with that situation. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. New ways to deal with that situation, and eventually we're gonna adjust to that situation and find the new ways, a new strength, a new mindset. And now we can do that all together because we are all facing the same thing, and we are gonna face a lot of trouble in the next months. And the key thing It's to help each other to come up with those new behaviors and to come up with those new mindsets. But the difference on my previous experience, it's a lot of times I had to face those adversities by myself, and now we can face them as a team, as a society. And to be honest, I think we're gonna do something great in the next years. It's gonna be very tough, but I'm sure we can change a lot of things.
Oh, inevitably, with great challenge comes great opportunity, great possibility. And
Yep.
the saying goes, nothing unites people like a common enemy, which this is. And hopefully, we'll be able to push through. One of the things that I said on another show that I was on as a guest earlier today, I was asked, and I'm going to ask you this question: what is the one thing that you hope people learn and one thing that's happened that you hope that it's a change or a positive change that lasts?
Well, I think the only thing I hope people they can learn, can apply to their lives is we are not trapped in our past. Our past doesn't define our present and obviously doesn't define our future. So I think the only moment we have is this moment. And in this moment, we always have different choices. Even when we think we don't have choices, we always have different choices. And a few years later, I found this quote, and it says, "Choice, not chance, that determines your destiny." And that's one of my main beliefs, and that's what I hope people get from this talk and from this situation, because we have the power in our hands to do whatever we want.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. My answer was there's been so many people showing compassion. And I hope that, as this changes and evolves and hopefully we get our handle on it, I hope that that compassion stays and that people continue to help each other the way that they have, that people continue to support the people that are supporting them, everyone from the people that are essential workers, that have become essential workers. Who knew that a grocery store clerk would be an essential worker? Who knew that a delivery person of food would be an essential worker? And I hope that people recognize the value and importance of what are probably two of the most important and most underpaid professions in the world. That is that of teachers and that of nurses. The teachers take care and help us raise our children, and the nurses take care of us in our worst moments. It's important that doctors do as well, but the nurses are the ones that are there hands on each and every day in and day out. And I hope that we value them and continue to value them. And honestly, hopefully they're properly rewarded for their efforts. Obviously, this hits close home to me because not only do I have children, so I appreciate the whole teacher situation, and I've got a lot of friends who are teachers, but I also have a lot of friends who are nurses and doctors. Of course, as you know, my wife is a nurse, so she's been embroiled in this whole situation as well. So I hope that people remain and keep that compassion, and also have an awareness and a new appreciation for and gratitude for those things that they have, that and those moments that they haven't been able to do, those the walks they haven't been able to take, the vacations, the travel, the friends, the family, the job, the work, the whatever it is. Don't take things for granted. You only realize what you have until once you lose it, as they say. I'm going to go to a question because I asked for questions. So Olga asks, and she has two questions, so I'm going to blend them into one. How do you stay focused on your goals, and how do you deal and overcome your fears every day?
Well, I will ask first the second question. I deal with my fears facing them. I mean, anytime I'm afraid of something, I try to do something about it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if I do something small, but it's crucial for me to do something about it that moment or that day or that week. I can't hold in a fear for a long time. To be honest, I hate it. So I'm still, I mean, think about it. A lot of days I'm afraid of just crossing the street because I don't know if the cars are coming, and there are some streets very dangerous. So it's I just cross, hoping to get to the other side, and that fear helps me to, to just have a different perspective about other stuff apparently more challenging, and about to be focused on my goals. Well, I have a plan for everything, and when it's ready, I forget it, and I only think about this week or today. I don't think what I'm gonna do tomorrow because tomorrow I have a routine to see my schedule and see my schedule is always the first 3 or 4 things. They are my goals for the day, and how they are related to my goals for the week. But that's it. I don't have like those kind of tasks and a lot of tasks to do. It's more important to see my goals and connected or linked to those goals, the specific task. But that's the only way because thinking about it doesn't help. Hoping doesn't help. Saying I will start on Monday doesn't help. So it's much better to do it on daily basis. And for sure, if you do just think about it. For example, if you read 10 minutes every day, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, you're going to read 15 days straight. So it's that's how I do it.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And I will tell you, you've taught me something as well. You've taught me many things, but one of the things, talk about reading 10 minutes a day. His reading 10 minutes a day is really 30 minutes a day because he listens to his audiobooks at 3 times speed. Now, I didn't know this, but obviously there's a speed setting on your phone to be able to have
Yeah, I read 600 words per minute. Yeah, with that thing.
600 words per minute. I still can't even imagine what that's like. So I will say that I've tweaked my ear so I can now listen to things at 2.5 times speed. And the first time I've heard you do that, I couldn't, and I speak Spanish fluently, I think. And the only thing I would pick up is the numbers when they'd stop for the numbers. And it would go so fast you couldn't even understand it. But what I learned is that you can actually tweak your ear and train your ear to listen to things a lot faster. So you can digest a book 2 times, 3 times as fast if you listen to it at the higher speeds. So thank you for that.
Yeah, actually, you train your brain more than your ears,
Right.
and actually can be very helpful about the previous question about how we can focus better in our goals because that thing trained you to be more focused in in the task. Because if you just think about, oh man, I gotta walk the dog, whatever, you lose half a page. So you have to be very focused all the time. So in this age or this moment on the society where people that get distracted very easily and they can't pay attention more than a few minutes to anything. So by the way, thank you for being there to listening to us. Um, it's very important to know how you can handle better your attention and your focus because that's going to help you to do better work. It's going to help you to treat better your family, your friends, because you're going to be present, and that's the most important thing, and that's what we appreciate from others.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I get very excited about this.
Great. Listen, I'm excited. You're excited. When you asked what can I talk about, I said let's have some fun and just have a conversation. I hope that
Yeah.
everyone that's watching is getting some value from this and appreciating, who this man is and who his soul is, and so much of his energy. And if you haven't done so yet, tag someone on this video that you think needs to hear it. Right? Tag someone that you think could get inspiration from it. Tag someone that really maybe takes life for granted and takes seeing for granted and takes so much for granted. I say all the time how important it is for us to be grateful for everything. Be grateful for our hands, for our eyes, for our ears, our nose, our mouth, our legs, our body, our heart, our brain, our lungs, our stomach, all of it. Right? We all have so much to be thankful for. And listen, today I'm thankful for you, as I am every day, for how you show up in the world and for the impact you're making. I will say that Olga just said, Enhamed, do you have any spots left to coach me? I also speak Spanish fluently.
Sure.
So here's what I'll do. I'll connect you, Olga. You know what? Actually, the best way would be through Instagram. And in Instagram, he's just at Enhamed, E-N. By the way, while I type that in, why don't you tell us how you got your name, Enhamed?
Well, it was a mistake. When my parents want to register my name, the guy that was working there, he made a mistake, and he didn't get my name straight. So he wrote it down in this way. And it was unique because nobody has this name, I guess.
That's right. You are the only Enhamed in the world. So how about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
He's easy to find on Instagram. It's just at Enhamed.
Yeah, it's I got Instagram, got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, any new thing I try, because there is no Enhamed, I can be the first always. Now I found another Enhamed the other day on the news, but it was a last name, and it was very weird for me because, like, wow, so people that changing their names, or what's going on here?
They learned about you, like, wow, I'm gonna have that. So either that, or maybe there's people out there. Have you had any girlfriends in the past that you haven't talked to in a while? Maybe there's some Enhameds running around. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Who knows? Who knows?
So yeah, you can find Enhamed, obviously, and his website is also
Enhamed.com.
So I wish it was that easy for me. So yeah, look him up at Enhamed.com, at IG, on Instagram, at Enhamed, Facebook, Enhamed. Well, you get the picture. So reach out to Enhamed. He is also a high performance life and business strategist and coach. And he is amazing. I know that I keep learning from you, brother, and I'm proud to have you on my team and know that you're there and continue to learn from you and be inspired by you.
Man, it has been a blessing these years since I met you, and I learned a lot of things with you. And our walks at 6 a.m. in the morning, I learned a lot, and it's always a pleasure to share some time with you, and hopefully we can do that in person in
friend. Hopefully,
in a few months. I hope.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll be here. Maybe it'll be in Spain. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
When things start to open up.
Yes.
So yes, Olga. So Olga just asked, how do you get in touch? I already answered that. And she follows you on Instagram. So just send him a message on Instagram. And her name is Olga Pickard. So Pickard. So when you get a message from her, you'll know it's from her. And of course, my lovely wife chimes in and says, "Our family loves you." All the best.
I love you too. I love you too. We need to hang out soon. So that's it. It's a little bit late, Ben, here.
Well, so listen, I'm going to give you final words. Give us a final thought, something that you would like to leave everyone with.
Well, it's tough. I mean, there are a lot of things I want to say, a lot of things I want to share, and but definitely I think something very important. Hold on, I will rephrase all this.
Take your time. We can run over an hour. We're not on anybody's but our own. Well, also whoever's watching. So, no disrespect.
Basically, I think there are a lot of things, as you said, that we take for granted. But the most important, there are a lot of things we say And because we say them a lot, we get used to listen those things, to hear those things like you only live once, so you have to be grateful for what you have and be present and all that stuff. Well, I think the better truths are the most simple. And for me, the better truth today, maybe tomorrow is gonna change, but the better truth today, it's I'm grateful because I have great people in my life, and because I've done a lot of great things, and I've met a lot of great people. But the only thing to do that, the only thing to find those things in our lives, and the only thing to be grateful in our lives, it's when we are able to be grateful for the things we hate, or things we don't like, or things we dislike. And that's the key element, to learn how to have gratitude every day for those challenging things and those tough moments. And there are some people in our lives that probably we don't like so much, but we have to live with them, or we have to share some time with them, or work with them. Those people are in our lives to teach us something. And like those people, our bad experiences, our bad situations in the past, or whatever, those things are your teachers. So if I would say something to you can take with you, it's be grateful for your tough moments, because those are going to teach you even more than the easy moments.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the reality of it is we're all a compilation of our life's experiences, right? The good, the bad.
And have fun. Yeah, sorry. And the last thing, have fun. Have fun. A lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's something that I so enjoy doing with you, because you've got that contagious laughter as well. And I love to laugh with you, my brother. And I can't wait to do it again in person. Yeah. So follow Enhamed. You know, reach out to him. He is, like I said, just like I am. He is a high performance life and business strategist. He's a speaker. He goes out and trains and coaches corporations on culture and on vision and on just being the best version of yourself. So reach out to him if you need someone. He also coaches athletes to be the best version of themselves. And certainly, if you want to reach out for me, I'm also a life and business strategist. Would love to speak to you if it's something that that we can help you with. By all means, reach out. And I'm going to make a request. I want you to, and I believe it's a Helen Keller. I now come to find out. Well, I think you told me at the time it's a Helen Keller statement, and I'd like you to share it. I think you know the one I'm talking about. Nothing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I want you to say it, because
No, you're gonna say it better.
and it was so powerful. No, listen, it was powerful for me because you said it. So, you know, I'd love you to say it. And I'm trying to think of the exact verbiage, and I'm not remembering it right now either.
Yeah, me neither.
Well done. Well done. So I'll get, and we'll figure it out if somebody has the exact quote. So basically, is as blind as a man with sight, but no vision. Wait, no, that's not right. No one is more blind than a man who can see but has no vision. Ooh.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So you left me with that one probably 4 or 5 years ago. Man, powerful. So no one is more blind than a man who can see but has no vision, or a woman. So I just encourage every one of us. You know, by the way, I've already thrown your name in a hat. There's a group called Unblinded Sales Mastery. So the Unblinded Movement. I'm going to connect you with that. There's obviously it's, you know, Sean Callagher, a good friend. His motto is actually that we're all blind and learning to see. And isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Even whether we're blind or not, we're all learning to see. So with that said, don't go away, because when I turn this off, we're going to talk for another couple of minutes. So with that said, my friends, listen, I appreciate everyone for watching. Certainly do share this video. Share this video. Dana says there's always a gift in the dark times. Absolutely. It's in the darkness that you find your light, right? It's in the darkness that you find your light. So keep if you're in the darkness, keep going. And if you see a light, you know, and if you're in the dark and you can't see anything, remember that maybe you are the light and maybe you're there to help other people through the darkness, right? So
That's powerful.
my friends, share this video, tag someone who you think may need to listen to it, may need to hear it, may need to learn about this amazing human that is on your screen right here next to me. And yeah, just keep on going, keep on trying. There is no failure. There is no failure. There's just learning, because when you fail, you learn. You know, as I like to end all my shows, and just remind everyone that life is not about how many times you fall. It's about getting up after every fall. Because if you fall down 7 times, you get up 8, and it's in falling that we learn. It's in getting up that we grow. And every single time we fall, we have the opportunity to get up and grow. So get up and grow, my friends, and help somebody else that's still growing. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Enhamed. Thanks, brother, for being here. I appreciate you and how you show up in the world and everything that you're doing. And much love, success, and blessings to you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. And I really appreciate this time with you. And good luck to everyone. And be in health.
Ciao for now.